everyone. Happy winter solstice. Happy Yule. I'm just letting everybody know in advance. This live is probably going to be a quick live. As you can probably hear, I sound really nasally because I currently have the flu. I just didn't want to reschedule this live because it's Yule today. So I just wanted to go ahead and do it. So thank you for everybody who's hopping on to catch the replay. Or if you're watching it on YouTube, this is the last video of the Sabbath series that I was doing throughout 2025, and all of the videos are going to be in one playlist on YouTube. And if you hop in and watch it with me while I'm doing it live, thank you so much for doing that. Like I mentioned, we did the Wheel of the Year series throughout all of 2025. Last month was Samhain, and the last month that we did a Sabbath live with Samhain, and this is the end of the Sabbath series. If you see me looking off to the side, I'm just looking at my... Sorry, that was me sliding the computer aggressively across the table. But I'm just going to go ahead and hop into some Sabbath basics. Hey, Angie. So going over what is Yule, the name came from a combination of two words, and the Old English word spelled G-E-O-L, again G-E-O-L. I'm not even going to attempt to say it in my flu-like medicated state. Hey, Haley. And the Old Norse word J-O-L, both are relating back to the Midwinter Festival. Hey, Kim. Yule is one of the oldest winter celebrations in the world. It is a midwinter festival to celebrate the winter solstice, which marks the halfway point of the winter season. It is also the shortest day of the year before the days start growing longer. So from this day forward, our days are going to start getting longer and not just be dark all the time. Therefore, that means Yule is the celebration of the reappearance of the sun and the land fertility. Yeah, I am trying my absolute hardest. Angie said, I'm sorry, I'm sick, but I've been trying my absolute hardest to try to kick this flu before Christmas because I was sick with strep throat on Thanksgiving. And so before Christmas comes, I would really like to not still be sick. However, being sick has kind of kicked my Yule plans today in the butt. However, nonetheless, I will do some Yule celebrations when I'm feeling a little better. When is this Sabbath? It is December 22nd. I didn't mean to say that. It's December 21st or 22nd in the Northern Hemisphere. Some modern Scandinavian countries now celebrate on December 24th just to align with Christmas. Historically, the dates from Yule could differ because of the Old Norse calendars tied Yule celebrations with the lunar cycle instead, where the main feast, spelled J-O-L space B-L-O-T, was held on the full moon of the second Yule month, which was actually in January or February, based off of the Gregorian calendar. Kimberly said, making the live, sorry you're sick. I'm glad that you've made it. And yeah, being sick is really sucking. I got that good old flu A that is going around. Haley said, I hope you're feeling better soon. We're coming down with colds thanks to my Jeremy Littles. Since I've been sick since Wednesday, but since Thursday, today is my first day where I've had a little bit of a break from a fever from about 9 a.m. to about 4 p.m. I didn't have a fever. Right now I'm just running a low-grade fever, but I'm really hoping by tomorrow I can just be fever-free. I'm manifesting that. I am trying to do everything that I can possibly do to feel better because I really don't want to be sick on Christmas. But why is Yule a holiday? Due to it being the halfway point through the winter, it was celebrated as the warm season is again fast approaching. The sun is coming back out. Lands will be fertile again, and food will soon come back in abundance. Yule symbolizes rebirth, renewal, new beginnings, and it's sort of where you can start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I mentioned, the darker days are slowly coming to a close, and we're heading back towards the lighter days. So if you kind of wanted to encapsulate Yule in like 3 words, I would pick renewal, rebirth, and new beginnings. History of Yule. Hey, hey Christy, and thank you, Kimberly, for saying sending lots of healing. I will accept as much healing energy as I can get because I am really trying. For people that just popped in, I have the flu. I was sick on Thanksgiving. I'm trying so hard not to be sick on Christmas. But some history for Yule is it originates from Germanic, Norse, Celtic, Sweden, and also other places. Like, it was really hard to try to figure out like where it like first originated from. I was like seeing like it's kind of all over the place. Everybody kind of has their own like little thing, but it's all about the return of the sun and defeating the shortest day and the longest night of the year. Like I mentioned, after today, we'll start going into a little bit of longer days and shorter nights. People would gather to dance and sing, and evergreens were decorated with holly and ivory. The burning of the Yule log was done to provide warmth and light, also to symbolize the return of the sun. Gifts were exchanged as a way to honor the gods and ask for their favor in the upcoming year. In Norse mythology, Odin was depicted as a god with a long white beard who rode through the sky on his 8-legged horse during Yule. For his great hunt, the ancient Norse would leave food out, such as oats or hay, for the riders of the wild hunt to appease them during their long journey. So later, Yule evolved into modern day Christmas, and Odin kind of evolved into the image of Santa Claus. And she said, sending some healing from us too. Thank you. Haley said, excited to have some more light later in the days. Me too. Me too. Yes, Christy said it perfectly. Surviving the darkness and coming into the light. Love the adding of ivory like garland. So pretty. Yes. Some lore for Yule would be Norse culture. Yule was believed to be a time where the spirits of the dead were passed on to the other world, fully moving on from our world to continue on their journey. Yule was a time to honor these passing spirits. It was said to be dangerous to go outside alone at night during Yule to risk being taken to the other world before your time. Some other different folklore related stories around Yule, definitely not all of them. You could find literally loads and loads and loads of Yule lore. I'm just trying to give like a really beginner like look over for something to like start your base and then dive into more. So Yule lads were 13 troll-like beings who would visit during the holiday season, each with a distinct, often mischievous personality. The Ghoulie Gonk, or Gak, I'm not sure how to say it. It's spelled Ghoulie, Gull space Gawk. One of the Yule lads, Ghoulie Gak, hides in the gullies and would steal milk from the cow sheds. So you could also tie that back to you leave milk and cookies out for Santa. This one is just stealing milk from the cow sheds. Another one of the Yule lads, named, I'm not even going to try to say it. It's named Gryla, who was said to be the son of a monstrous ogress. Oh, I said that so backwards, I'm so sorry. The monstrous ogress was named the name that I spelled, Gryla, and the Yule lads were the sons of that monstrous ogress. Sorry if I said that backwards. But they were known to, that monstrous ogress was named to eat naughty children. And then Nissi, Nisse, in Scandinavian folklore, the Nissi were small gnome-like creatures who were associated with the winter solstice, often left offerings out with food. Sorry if I sound really nasally. Haley said, interesting. Angie said, I have several books and there is so much information and lore. Yeah, there's really a lot. I just tried to pick like some really basic ones that wouldn't be too difficult. We have the 12 Days of Yule. I have a couple different links where I pulled this from, so I'm going to go over the 12 Days of Yule. I did not write the section that I'm about to read over the 12 Days of Yule. I pulled it from these 3 different websites, and right after I'm done being live, I'll drop the links into the comments, so that way you guys can go see it. Do you know this info from your practice or lots of it from research before the live? It's kind of a mix throughout the Sabbats. There are some Sabbats where I did not need to do any research and I pretty much knew exactly what I was doing, and then there were some Sabbats where I would do more research. So throughout this Sabbath series, it's kind of a mix-up of what I already had and what I needed to do research on. But like I mentioned, the 12 Days of Yule section that I'm about to go over came from these different websites. I didn't write this next portion that I'm going to go over. So day 1, Mother's Night, December 20th or 21st would be the Mother's Night. It kicks off the Yule celebration. This is the night to honor the goddesses, particularly Frigg, the Norse mother goddess, and the I don't know how to say this word, DISIR, protective female ancestors. Light candles and meditate on the divine feminine, your ancestors in maternal energy. Day number 2, December 22nd. On this day, focus on restoration after a long night. We welcome the rebirth of the sun. Reflect on cycles of life, death, and rebirth. You can craft some sun symbols or light a yellow candle to represent this rejuvenation. Day number 3, December 23rd. The 3rd day is all about feasting and family. Come together with loved ones for a celebratory meal. If you're practicing alone, you can focus on gratitude for relationships you cherish, both physical and spiritual. Honoring the bonds that support and strengthen you. Day number 4, December 24th, Day of the Wild Hunt, a day to honor spirits and ancestors who roam the earth during the longest nights. It's a good time to reflect on Odin, the Norse god, often associated with Yule, and the Wild Hunt. I talked about that a little bit more earlier. And leaving offerings like bread or apples for spirits at your doorstep. Day number 5, December 25th. While much of the world celebrates Christmas, this is Yule's 5th day, and it celebrates community and giving. It's a great day to reach out to friends, neighbors, coven members, or anyone, and just share warmth, whether it's through a small gift, food, or even just kind words. Let me see. Haley said, this was the first year I wanted to be more intentional or doing something for each of the 12 days, but it's been a tad stressful of life. I was also going to do something, but I'm just taking a beating from this flu, so I'm not really doing anything. Angie said, so just to clarify, I saw people all over the place saying that Yule started yesterday on the 20th. Traditionally, it would start today is the winter solstice, the 21st. And then the 12 days go through January 1st. I think I am okay, I caught up on comments. Let's see. Day number 6, December 26th, spiritual renewal is the theme for that day. Lighting candles in the morning to bring blessings into your home, cleanse your space, your altar, or your tarot cards, setting your intentions for the remainder of the Yule season. Day number 7, December 27th. On this day, it's all about wisdom, turning to divination, any type of divination, no matter what divination it is. It's just a time to seek guidance on the upcoming year and reflect on lessons from the past and what direction you want to head into the future. No worries, Angie. That's why I scheduled the live for today, because I wanted to do it today on Yule. And then since it starts the 12 days today, I wanted to do it today. But it's a lot of people celebrate the 12 days differently, like, and then you also have the 12 days of Christmas. Some people, so with Yule, some people like traditionally, I think the 12 days start today and then they go through January 1st, like I was saying, but I know some people sort of alter it and just practice the 12 days on days that work for them during December. And then some people get mixed up with the 12 days of Christmas, which some people do the 12 days of Christmas starting on Christmas. Some do the 12 days, like, it gets confusing. People do it a lot of different days when it comes to the 12 days of Christmas. Rachel, was last night, Mother's Night, actually part of the Yule season then, or a separate holiday? If you already addressed this, I logged on late. So, Mother's Night is considered, like last night, December 20th, and then also today, a little bit. It's like last night going in today would be Mother's Night, and then today is like actually, like Yule, the winter solstice. Christy said, I've been telling people have a happy Yule since the first one said Merry Christmas. Yeah, no worries. I tell people a happy Yule and Merry Christmas, not even just today, kind of just like throughout December. I feel like it's the season, I suppose, rather than the exact specific day, because like I mentioned earlier, in different places, in different time periods, it was celebrated in different times. Like if you look at the Gregorian calendar, like I mentioned earlier, way back in the day, people were doing it in like January. So it depends on what timeline, like what time frame you're wanting to pull from, what location you're wanting to pull from. It can be like vastly different. But like I mentioned, I'll drop the links that go over the 12 days of Christmas and I was reading Christmas. They go over the 12 days of Yule more in chat after this live. Day number 8, December 28th, focuses on abundance and generosity. It's a day for creating spells for prosperity or setting your intentions for abundance in the upcoming year. You can burn incense like cinnamon or clove to attract wealth and success. On day 9, December 29th, it's all about strength and encouraging you to honor your personal power, reflect the challenges that you faced and how you overcome them. You can also call on deities or spirits of strength, like Thor, to help empower you. And you're welcome, Kimberly, and you're welcome, Rachel. Day number 10 is December 30th. As the Yule season nears its end, it's a time of talking about protection. You can craft protection charms or talismans. You can cleanse your home. You can cast circles to shield your space from negativity. It's all focusing on preserving that positive energy that you've been cultivating throughout Yule and protecting yourself. Day number 11, December 31st, it's the night for celebration and joy. Yule's magic merges with the modern day New Year's Eve, making it like a good time to end your year. People nowadays do like, fireworks, sparklers, dancing, things like that. It ties a lot into modern day New Year's Eve if you wanted to. Some people celebrate New Year's Eve on December 31st, and then some people do Witches' New Year and Samhain, and then some people do both. So that again just depends on what you're specifically following. And then day number 12, January 1st, the final day of Yule, which is representing renewal and new beginnings. On this day, you're reflecting your transformation and all the things that you've undergone and went throughout the Yule season. You can write down your goals to continue on after sort of like the end of Yule, the coming of close to winter. And it's a day to embody hope, light, and the magic of a fresh start. I write all of my goals on Samhain, but after I write all my goals on Samhain, and I use the period between Samhain and January 1st as a time to like plan and cultivate and really work on myself and just like set things up for when I start working on them. And on January 1st, instead of writing my goals and then doing them, that is when I start actually working on the goals that I've already set on Samhain and I've been like planning and working on and like mentally prepping for. That's sort of how I do it personally, but I know everybody does it a little different. Kimberly says, I do both, which is New Year specifically for me and my spiritual path. Yeah, some people do that too. They do like a mundane New Year, on December 31st, January 1st, and then they do like a spiritual New Year on Samhain. Again, kind of just depends on your practice. The zodiac association is when the sun enters Capricorn. Symbols would be the mistletoe, Yule trees, Yule logs, holly, candles, pine cones, evergreen trees, evergreen bouquets, wreaths. Some different types of spell work, I already touched on this a lot, would be prosperity, abundance, rebirth, renewal, releasing the past, protection, and banishing. Colors, we have green, which is representing life. Oh, I forgot to mention, after I finished with the 12 Days of Christmas, this is back to me. The only thing that I'd like really pretty much directly pulled from those links was the 12 Days of Christmas. But green represents life and renewal of nature associated with abundance and prosperity. Evergreens are commonly tied with the color green, obviously. Red is red for representing the life force of the sun, the blood of the Holly King, and the vitality of hearth, and again, prosperity. I did not go into the whole battle of the Oak King and the Holly King, purely because I didn't want to. I'm sorry to say it like that bluntly, but I didn't want to dive into that whole story for the lore. But you can go research the battle between the Oak King and the Holly King for Yule, because that is a big part of Yule. I just wanted to briefly mention it, but I didn't want to dive too deep into it. Mostly because that's not something that I personally like utilize or work with, or not acknowledge. I don't know how to word that exactly. That's not something that is like super involved in my practice, so I didn't want to go into it. And also, it's kind of a long story, so I felt like it would just be easier if you went and read the story. I feel like you would gain a lot more if you went and read it rather than me just yapping about it. And also, I'm sick as a dog. Doing this live is already taken a lot, so I didn't want to push myself too hard. Andrew said, I've started celebrating both now mundane in December and using it as a marker point for goal setting. Yep. And then Haley said, I read a snippet about it and it was interesting. Oh yeah, it's a good read. I enjoy reading about it, but not so much talking about it. Rachel said, as a teacher, that's a fabulous reason. I mean, that's the honest reason. I didn't want to try to come up with some smooth reason of why I didn't want to. That's just really why. I think it's better to read. Or you could probably find videos online where people can tell the story much better than I would be able to tell you the story. Angie said that's a long story in some versions. Yeah, if I was to tell you, I would want to tell you it in its entirety, and then you might as well snuggle up in bed with a blanket, and I might as well bust out a book, and I'm going to be reading you a bedtime story at that rate, because I'm going to be reading for forever. Kimberly said, I'll read it whenever the slow connection bar goes away. Hold on. Kimberly said, practicing Yule more involved this year. You've provided lots of information. That was something I really wanted to do with going over all of the Sabbaths throughout 2025, is it provides me a time to pause and acknowledge each Sabbath, going over them with you guys. Because there are certain Sabbaths that I just celebrate more in my personal practice than others. Haley said, I'm already snuggled up with a blanket, go ahead. That has been me every single day for days. I need someone to read me the bedtime story. But getting back into colors, we have white, which is symbolizing purity, the snow, the cold, new beginnings, and then also the returning of the light. Gold, which is, again, about the sun's power, returning to warmth, and then prosperity. Silver represents the moon and its connection to the dark hours, the longest night, and the shortest days. And then a little less traditionally, you have blue for the winter sky, snow, water, and peace. And then sometimes you have purple also. Some deities, we have Odin, Freyr, Thor, Oak King, Holly King, Cernunnos, Horned God, Apollo, Ra, Cailleach, the Morgan, Father, Son, Persephone, Hades, Loki, probably a lot more. But there's a nice little list. Some herbs, flowers, and trees. That's why I said less traditionally would be blue, and then sometimes people put purple in there. But for herbs, flowers, and trees, we have evergreen, holly, poinsettia, cedar, pine, spruce, hemlock, cinnamon, cloves, ginger, fir, mistletoe, bay laurel, orange peel, frankincense, rosemary, hawthorn, bay leaves, juniper, rowan, nutmeg, allspice, cardamom, ivy, elm. Whenever you're using any herbs, flowers, or woods or anything, please make sure they're safe for you to use, and also watch out because a lot of them are toxic to animals. Angie said, same, there are things that I like about each one of them, and I'll bring a snippet to the smaller snippets, but not all of them. Yeah, there are some that I just kind of, I don't really do anything for, but I will acknowledge on that day. I'll be like, well, today is this Sabbath, and I'm going to take like 5 minutes and acknowledge that, rather than doing a lot for it. Some crystals and stones are bloodstone, garnet, ruby, clear quartz, rose quartz, obsidian, onyx, citrine, sunstone, moonstone, adventurine, sodalite, and lapis lazuli. Some foods, not limited to foods, there's a lot of foods for Yule. We have Yule log cakes, spiced cookies, shortbread, fruit-filled cakes, Yule moon cookies, apples, pears, caraway cakes, pork, goat, mead, cider, wine, nuts, dried fruit, goose, chicken, potatoes, red cabbage, carrots, bacon, herring, wassail, and eggnog. Cheyenne did a wassail live if you want to check that out. I lost my spot. Poinsettias are so pretty is what Haley says. Christy says all of the yummy simmered pot scents of the season. Oh yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, right now, I can't really smell much of anything, but they definitely usually smell very good. Angie said, yes, acknowledge. Yeah, you have to always pay attention to what things are safe and what aren't. Rachel said, fun fact, I recently learned poinsettias are actually tropical plants and go really well in warm weather. Fun facts all around. Eggnog, I need to buy some of that, says Kimberly. Some animals could be boar, goats, cat, dog. I didn't mean to say dog. I meant to say deer. Whoops. I'm going to restart the animals list. Boar, goats, cat, deer, stag, reindeer, elk, owls, bears, ravens, wolves, squirrels, wren, and robins. Angie says they are literally a hothouse plants. Some incense and oils. Obviously, you can refer back to like the herbs and flower list that I gave you, and you can pull a lot from there. But frankincense, pine, cedar, juniper, patchouli. I love patchouli. I actually got some wax scents that are patchouli, and I have it's right there. I have patchouli oil that my granny gave me because she loves patchouli too. Vanilla, cinnamon, clove, orange, myrrh, cedarwood, juniper, ginger, gingerbread, nutmeg, and then yeah, all the other ones I already listed earlier. Some ways to celebrate are decorating a Yule log, lighting the Yule log, lighting candles, Yule tea, simmer pots, spell bag, charm bags, creating an altar, making garlands or wreaths, hosting a feast, baking treats, making warm drinks. I need a warm drink right now. Performing cleansing rituals, journaling and reflecting, taking a nature walk, honoring ancestors, welcoming the sun, exchanging gifts, making homemade gifts, and connecting to the fire energy. Decorations are a lot of the stuff that I mentioned earlier. Any of the things I mentioned earlier could be used as a decoration, but just a few to keep it short would be Yule log, candles, evergreen branches, pine cones, wreaths, mistletoe, and dried orange slices. So for the tarot spread, I made you guys a tarot spread. I'm gonna flip the camera and show you in just a second. Angie said reindeer antlers. Reindeer with antlers are girls. Yes, the girls pull Santa's sleigh. And then Rachel said, yes, patchouli is my favorite scent. Yes, I got wax scents that are patchouli, and I'm so excited for that. My whole house is going to smell like it. not using them until I can smell. Kimberly said, I love vanilla with cinnamon. That's also good. Vanilla and cinnamon are fabulous. Angie said, Rachel and I made, the chat's going fast. Angie said, Rachel and I made Yule witches balls today, and they smell amazing. They have all the things you listed. My very first live I ever did in the group was for Yule witches balls. Actually, that's a fun fact. It's still on my YouTube and still linked on Facebook. No judgment though. It was my very first live I ever did, so it's not the best. Not the best. One day I might redo it. Haley said, I thought they all had antlers. The males lose theirs in the fall and the girls lose theirs in the winter's month. They do have antlers, but yeah, like you said, the males fall off. I don't know. I don't claim to know a lot about reindeers, but I was like pretty sure in like Christmas books or something, I read something about, all the girls pull Santa's sleigh because they have antlers. Don't quote me. That could be really wrong. Rachel said, yes, we looked like weirdos smelling them. Yeah, Angie has basically just said the exact same thing that I said. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the tarot spread that I made for you guys, just so that way y'all can see the picture. So y'all are going to hopefully not get motion sick. I'm about to move y'all like crazy. And try not to show you my dirty bedroom. Okay. Here we go. This is what the spread image is going to look like. I did a little tree. I thought that would be cute. I wonder if I can turn this sideways. Oh, I can. Okay. Oh, I can't. It says you can't turn sideways while live. Boo-hoo. That's dumb. Okay. I'll just move you guys around a little bit. So card number 1. Stop it, focus. Card number 1, the base, this right here, is to, here we go. I'm just gonna hold it still for a second, and then if anybody wants to take a screenshot, they can do that, and then I'm gonna set you guys back down to read it. I can't be wiggling you guys all around. It's gonna make y'all sick, it's gonna make me sick. Okay. Whoa. Lost the chat for a second there. Okay, I think we're back to normal now. Oh, you guys could still see it sideways? That's so cool. On my phone, it like pops up like a big, like, you cannot have your phone sideways while you're live. So I didn't, at least y'all can still see it. If y'all can still see it, let me show you one more time sideways, and then so y'all can get a better picture if you need one, and then I'll put you back. Okay. Alright, let me flip you back around now. Okay. Everybody could have gotten a picture now. In some form or another, we could have gotten a picture. Okay, Rachel said I have to log off for dinner, but we'll catch the rest later. No worries. Enjoy your dinner. Hope it's fabulous. Whenever you come back, let us know what you had for dinner. We all gotta know now. So card number 1, the base, or is the foundation for the reading. Where are you at right now during this the darker season? Card number 2. What do you need to unfreeze in yourself or your life? Card number 3, how to protect yourself throughout the dark season. Card number 4, things not to forget while the winter lasts. Card number 5, what will be coming to you / what will you be dealing with in late winter. Card number 6, what do you need to complete before the end of winter? Card number 7, what will be in abundance for you in early spring? And then card number 8, the key point, what is the main thing to take away or remember from the entire reading? I kind of had fun making the little tree in Google Doc. I wanted it to like be a cute little layout, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to explain that right unless I just make a diagram. So I kind of had fun doing that. For anybody curious, Angie said, males lose theirs in late fall and females keep theirs through the winter, shedding after giving birth in the spring. Thanks, Google. Thanks, Angie. Haley said, thank you. So for our Sabbath challenge, I challenge you guys to light a candle while it burns, do a journal entry, or just a thinking exercise about some things you've faced in the darkness recently and what you hope the spring can bring to light. And that is the end of our Sabbath series that we did throughout all of 2025. Series completed, guys. We did it. I really enjoyed doing the Sabbath series with you guys throughout the year. It's been really helpful for me. I hope it was helpful for y'all. It was nice to be able to start something that I knew I would be able to finish completely. So I really enjoyed that. 1 second. I definitely want to sneeze. Okay, maybe not. Just kidding. I really have to sneeze and I can't. Haley said, thank you, and I love that it's a tree. I'm so glad that you like that. I would normally stay and chat a little bit longer, but I need to blow my nose so bad, and I'm probably gonna get in the shower, eat some soup, and go to bed, because this took every last little ounce of energy that I had. So, Kimberly said, I'm going to rewatch them on your YouTube. Christy said, that's a good challenge. Great live and series. Now do we start over? I love that. You can start it over on YouTube in the playlist. But just a little fun tidbit I will share. Haley said, woohoo, love this series. Thank you for taking the time to share Yule with us. Get some good rest. I definitely will. Coming to 2026 for me, I'm going to be continuing my meditation series. I'm going to continue with some like mental health / like yourself related videos for your craft. Definitely a lot of meditation stuff to come from me throughout 2026. I think that's where I'm going to put a lot of focus. And then, of course, I do tarot every other month in 2026. Angie said, feel better, Merry Solstice, and thank you for all the fabulous information all year. And Haley said, love that idea. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really enjoyed doing the series with you guys. We really evolved with the series. We started doing the Sabbath series with me and Angel, and then I had one live where I did a Sabbath series live with Carol, and then now it's just little old me, and I think that we have really come a long way throughout the Sabbath series. The very first Sabbath live that I did, if you go back and watch it versus this live, you can definitely probably tell the confidence difference and the comfortability difference on the camera. And on my YouTube as well, I have another playlist that's titled Wheel of the Year related videos. And those are, I didn't put them in the Sabbath series playlist because I didn't, don't quote me. Okay, I either have two playlists, one that's called the Sabbath series, and one that's called Wheel of the Year related, or they're in one playlist. My medicated brain cannot remember. Anyways, I have a couple videos on my YouTube that are Wheel of the Year related, but not in the Sabbath series. Like I mentioned, the very first live I ever did was Yule Witches Balls. I think I did, if I'm remembering correctly, I think I did self-healing. And I think I gave a lot of budget tips. Yeah, Wheel of the Year and Sabbath are the same things. I'm just thinking I titled it differently on YouTube. I can't remember, but I can drop a comment and let you guys know. But if you go to my YouTube, it's all sorted into playlists, so you can easily find it and click on it and then just watch all of them. And then whenever the table of contents document is fully worked on, you can go to that easier. But all of the Sabbath live should be also linked in my table of contents document already, besides this one, obviously. But I'm going to go now, so thank you all for going through this series with me and giving me the chance to share all this information. I hope everybody has a fabulous Yule and a great rest of the year, because this is my last live of this year with you guys. So I hope everybody enjoyed 2025, and let's really hope for a good 2026. All right, guys, blessed be.